everyone, this is my Patreon-powered reaction to the 10th episode of Kanata no Astra. And last episode, we got some pretty big reveals. Now, we found out everyone on board is a clone, with the possible exception of Paulina. And that was only part 1 of the big reveal, though. The part 2 was a bigger part, the one I definitely did not see coming, like, at all, was the parents were the originals. And they raised these people not as children in hopes of them being their own people and having success in life, but as lifeless vessels for them to inhabit at some point. Really doesn't get much more messed up than that. As a really big reveal, it did answer a lot of questions. A lot of things make sense now. However, there's still some things that I'm curious about. The biggest points of curiosity are the ship, Arius' mother, Arius herself, and Paulina, which her mission was about. And that kind of stuff is the biggest mystery. But yeah, I'm sure answers will come in due time. But the other big reveal of the episode was the fact that we are not going to Earth. We are going to planet Astra. So, yeah, clearly we were not on the same page as Paulina at all. But that final scene really was great, because it really flipped things kind of upside down. Paulina was supposed to be the outsider, and the rest of the crew are people that we've gotten to know, and we can understand their motivations and stuff like that. But in that one scene, everything just kind of flipped. Suddenly, Paulina was the one that we could understand, and then everyone else was like, what are you talking about, Paulina? And I'm like, what are you talking about? What is she talking about? Is it not obvious what you're talking about? I thought we were on the same page, but we clearly weren't, and just completely exploded us with another big reveal there. So apparently, yeah, we just abandoned Earth at some point and went to a different planet. Maybe Paulina's mission was to try to save Earth in some way, but since it failed, we had to abandon Earth instead. So now, when she tries to go back to Earth, there's no longer an Earth, or there's where Earth was is uninhabitable. Like maybe there's just nothing but nuclear wasteland all over. I don't know. Like I said, I still have plenty of questions about what's going on. Especially since it never even seemed to have heard of Earth before, so if this is only less than 12 years ago, they should at least know about it, right? So maybe it's secret somehow? I don't know. Like, basically a lot of things I'm confused about, a lot of things I still have questions about, which I think is the idea. They're gonna give us more answers going forward. I'm just kind of trying to let you know where my head's at right now as far as the plot. So, yeah, let's just get into it and see what happens, really. So what kind of conversation we have with Paulina about Earth and whatever that is. So 3, 2, 1, play. And we are starting right off from there. That is Astra. It's only obvious to you. And Astra is also like the name of the ship, so Kadifa. Should I be writing this up down? Yeah, this is not Earth. That's what it seems like. Yeah, but why? Are there, or was it abandoned? I guess it could be just different planets, different people. I mean, I guess you sort of would be from your perspective, kind of. You're a fine alien. We don't discriminate here. We're very progressive here. Yeah, we do need to learn about that. Yeah, are you speaking English? I don't think you are. Doesn't everyone? Outdated. So there's no longer individual countries. Wow. Yeah, she clearly knows about this stuff. Yeah, I mean... Well, there's at least a 12-year difference, but I... So we're actually gonna find the culprit now? Sounds familiar. Yeah, what's up with that? Like, right. So it seems like they're trying to keep it fairly secret. I guess that sort of makes sense. Especially if there's dark aspects of the past. Yeah, exactly. Okay, the key turning point. World War III, yeah, that sounds new. That's definitely new. So now we know where the now we know where the branching path is. I got bombed. Okay, there you go. Not so cold. Yeah, different for sure. So, are we in different timelines or? Okay, I'm not sure how to answer that question. I actually kind of have chills right now. Like, how different is the world they live in? Because it takes place in like 2063, so that's pretty far from this. Oh, damn. Ouch. Yeah, that does sound pretty bad. United World Government. The abolishment of guns. For America. I mean, that sounds decent on paper, I guess, but... Yeah, a world without World War III, what craziness. A greater threat. An asteroid. So yeah, that's why she was so surprised they were still around in this year. Blow it up. Oh, okay. I guess that also works. Take what we can and leave. Well, no, a lot of people would have to be left behind. Oh, yeah, that's where the thing comes into play. Okay, now we're getting into that. Yeah, we know about that. We ran into that twice. And then never again. Yeah, do you not watch science fiction? Probably was. So did that take us to a different, like, timeline dimension? But... Or maybe that just occurred to ours. I don't know. I'm still really confused. Because it's our planet that we see. Well, their planet, I mean. Yeah, so Earth is just gone. So maybe it did take us some time. Oh god, that's poor Earth. I like that planet. Oh wow. That is a lot to take in. So I guess we were technically leaving Paulina's home this whole time. It's kind of funny, but... there could be some time travel. That's... or that. Definitely have to rewatch this episode because I feel like I get a little bit confused halfway through. Yeah, we're basically pros at this point. I think I get the gist of it. Like, we're still going home to Astra. Earth is gone. Like, I get the gist of that. You know, the Exodus has been completed. I'm still gonna rewatch that at some point to make sure I got all that. uh... What the heck? Trying to worry me, Kanata. Like, are you trying to imply that was all rehearsed? What are you coming to my room in the middle of the night for? Yeah, this is misunderstanding. At least get to the bed first. Someone will see if you go in the doorway. God, oh, God, Kanata, please stop. You're making it sound so bad. We're still not on the same page. She should know better, though. He's dense. He wouldn't do that. During FTL travel. I know, right? You were the one that was the biggest baby about all this. Goal. Have fun? Yeah, okay. Can't be worried a bit for a second there. Because I would assume Arias was the mastermind if it wasn't for the fact that she had her helmet off in the initial teleportation. Otherwise, I would be suspecting her really hard, because she does stand out from everyone else. Yeah, we've done this. You should have seen us the first time. It was a disaster. Cool crystals, though. So what's gonna try to kill us here? Oh god, kill it with fire. I would rather die. It is pretty, though, aside from that. Getting close. It's not Paulina's home, though. And tell us more about her. Hopefully they're that kind. Yeah, there could be more reveals, more scary stuff. It's a very romantic setting scene here. Right. Right. I would love to see that. I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, the title, we should learn who the culprit is. But there's still someone. Light! Is that a bad thing? Oh god, yeah, that's a bad thing. That is the worst thing. Yeah, number 3. It's here again. Good thing the one that can run the fastest is the one dealing with it. But how does it keep popping up, though? That's what I'm curious about. Does the culprit have control over it? That's the only thing that would make sense. Oh, you might not want to stay here. Might want to keep going. I don't know if we can escape it if we're in a cave. Or, no, it's gone. Wait, does it have a time limit of how much it can move? Because you've always been able to outrun it most of the time. Except for the first time, but that's just because we were idiots and didn't know what it was. Oh? It's Arius. That's the only thing that would make sense. That's who he's focused on. Okay, well, if he's got it figured out, that's good at least. Is he gonna tell the others? Yeah, luckily he didn't die. Well, I mean, we're getting pretty close to home, so of course they would get desperate. The culprit. Olger? Are you... there's no way it's Olger. That was too obvious. Are you trying to mislead us? Is he the culprit, or... Yeah, that's what I figured that much at least. Yeah, I mean, makes sense. I just don't think there's any reason to believe it's Olger specifically. So... Or maybe he believes one of these two is the culprit and he's trying to play them here. I don't know. I can't decide what my theory is. But obviously, he's Kanata's making some kind of play here. But it chased Kanata, so yeah, it couldn't possibly be Kanata. It wouldn't chase, and that wouldn't make sense. I don't know why I even said that. But what's gonna happen here? Uh... So... So honestly, I would suspect Sharks before Ulger, so maybe we're trying to trap him. I don't know. I just didn't see the logic of him thinking it's Ulger very well. Oh, that's bad. Hopefully that's a lie. Well, something's happening. Well, the gun's not working, that much was true. Oh, and there it is. So whoever is behind it is here. Somebody gonna get tossed into that thing? Okay. So it was Shars then. Okay, that's what I figured. You were played, Shars. Well, there we go. It's been solved. I wouldn't have guessed him. Okay, that was just... He was just pretending not... Okay. Looks like you lost, Shars. Oh, wow, we are all here, okay. Well, you were the enemy, so... Yeah, can you explain yourself? I guess that makes sense. Well... Yeah, Arius, that photographic memory. You can't beat that. Uh, 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 it's heartbreaking to see Arius like this. But we found a ship. I guess that complicated things for you. Yeah, I probably should have timed that differently, but I guess everyone was in the same spot, so... uh... And that's why the plan failed. I should have kept an eye on him. But what are we gonna do about this is the big question. It is pretty messed up. Please give us more answers, Shars. We've only scratched the surface on this. Oh, that is a big difference. Like, if you know you're a clone, that... Okay, that was the 10th episode of Kanata no Astra. And they definitely had a lot more to throw at us in this episode. Like, we went completely into, like, history of Earth or slash Astra and differences and changes and potential lies and abandoning the planet and go to a new one. Like, it's a lot. They threw a lot at me here. But I think I get the important points, like, Earth couldn't be inhabited anymore, so they left. That's what the wormhole was made for. It was not made to kill people like it's being utilized here. So it is pretty good technology, just don't use it to kill people. But, you know. So, Earth was the original planet, Astra is what they moved to because they had to. Then we had the World War III thing, which, yeah, just destruction all over the place, and much regrets were had. And apparently history is not taught much in school, which makes sense, I suppose, under the excuse of we want to look towards the future, not the horrible mistakes of the past. Let's just kind of forget about that and then move forward. And yeah, just very different planets, very different countries are just gone. I mean, if you go to a new planet, that would definitely make sense, because the original countries would no longer be a thing. So much more globalized. Yeah, they brought up a lot of history things here. So we're in like 2063, and they discussed around 1962 or so. So yeah, like 100 years worth of stuff here, because that's where the difference really starts. But yeah, it's got to be like a different timeline sort of thing, right? If they're talking about different events in history. But I don't know. It could be getting some things mixed up in my head. I'm definitely gonna look at this more closely before again, but. Yeah, we just left Earth. Like that cold, desolate planet that we started at nearby was completely just, yeah, not inhabitable anymore. Which makes sense, because, yeah, Sharcy has the device that makes the wormhole appear, like, near him, right? So he can only control that half, I guess. So, and the original spot was there because it was used for the Exodus, to remove people from Earth to a new planet. So, of course, it would be chilling near the planet so people could go through it. And I guess a ship was just kind of left behind from that, I think is what they said. So that's pretty funny. This whole time the audience has been led to believe that we were slowly but surely making our way to Earth, but in reality that's where we started, and we went to Astra this whole time. That was honestly a pretty cool reveal. I like that a lot. But as usual, when we get hit by bad news, somebody speaks up and we are told to just calm down, it's fine, just stay positive. You know, it doesn't change what we have to do. And that's definitely true. Then we had a scene where Kanata went to Arias' room, which was quite funny because she took it a much different way than he meant it, you know, as a romantic night visit kind of thing. A lot of misunderstandings there, so that was pretty good. That was pretty funny. But of course, Kanata would never do that. He just wants to talk about the Sharsh thing because he had finally learned the truth, and I guess he went to people one by one to tell them about it to kind of orchestrate this full-on plan. So when was the moment where Kanata was kind of talking to himself? Should be around here. Yeah, it's right about here. Because I was a little bit worried at this point, because at first I thought maybe he was, I don't know, it just sounded like he was thinking about it in a way that was like, I don't know, I don't remember the first episode too well, but I just kind of thought maybe he was be saying like lines like he had rehearsed, or basically trying to imply that he was playing a role and he was a culprit. That was where my mind went to first, which in retrospect was a silly thing to think. But he was just kind of trying to reenact the thing in his head to try to figure things out, is clearly what actually happened. Because yeah, Luca was the one that first went into it. And although actually, yeah, he went to Aria's first because she was the best point to get more information because she has a photographic memory. So I guess it was more of that than explaining a plan or anything to her. So I guess that's what it actually was. That makes more sense. And then the planet itself is pretty cool, aside from certain life forms. It's got crystals. It's got nice water. So yeah, I never would have guessed Sharks was the culprit. That was pretty surprising. I think the point where my mind went in the most overdrive was in this scene here, when Kanata was speaking to Shars and Zack. Because he talks about how Olger he thinks is the culprit, and just right away that sent red flags in my head, because I'm like, no, that's not true. So why would Kanata lie about that was the big question. And then I figured that, yeah, he probably thinks it's either Zack or Shars, and he's trying to make a big play here. But yeah, it probably wouldn't be Zack because we built him up too much. He's, Kitori's fiance and all that. So yeah, the longer I thought about this, I did think it would probably more likely be Shars. So, although I kept doubting myself a lot throughout the scene, which is why I kept like backpedaling a lot and just reevaluating what I think. But yeah, it was definitely Shars. Especially when he said that Funichan thing, I was like, yeah, that definitely sounds like a lie. At that point, I was pretty much concrete in my theory that, yeah, we're playing Shars here. Although it didn't even seem like he made much movement when the sphere appeared, which confused me again, because I was like, wait, Shars didn't seem like he really did anything. Was it somebody else after all? So just flip-flopping constantly through these scenes. But yeah, apparently it's something that doesn't require much movement. It's just a little remote that he just can very subtly click. So, and that was it for Shars. But yeah, before this episode, I never would have guessed it was Shars. Like, I was a little bit suspicious of him when the biology class discussion happened, but yeah, not much beyond that. Especially because he had sort of a childhood friend thingy with Sarah, who is maybe Arius or a clone of Arius or something like that. But yeah, that's that. We didn't really hear too much about his motivations here. Like, he was given an instruction by, the originals to help make sure the mission goes the way it's supposed to go. We know that much. And of course, he damaged the communicator, which we already knew that as well. So he hasn't really given us any information we didn't already know, aside from he was aware he was a clone before this, and he's the clone of the king. I mean, if anyone's going to make a clone of themselves to put their mind into, I guess a king would probably be it. So that makes way too much sense. But yeah, what are we going to do about this? I mean, next episode, we're obviously going to dedicate a decent chunk of it to hearing more of his backstory. But what do we actually do about Shars himself? Like, do we just execute him here? Do we lock him in the brig? I'm pretty sure we're not just going to kill him. At worst, we would just lock him up somewhere. Which I think they threatened to do that to him before when we initially were suspicious of him. So they'll probably do that until we get back to Astra, and then can have the proper authorities deal with him. That's probably the way we're gonna go. Or they could just power of friendship, forgive him for everything, and pretend like nothing ever happened. They could do that as well. That's a pretty anime thing. But Ulger was pretty up for killing him. No surprises there. But yeah, kind of less to talk about than usual with this episode. I mean, unless I really just want to completely rewatch the whole history discussion, which I don't really want to do that right now. I'll do that later. But I think I got the important bits, But yeah, Paulina, like, Earth was her home, so basically there's no going home for her, which is pretty tragic. But I'm sure she can make a good life for herself on Astra. Definitely. At least we learned about the wormhole, that's good. And the ship definitely seems like it was not part of the initial plan. If it was just kind of a leftover thing near Earth from the Exodus and all that. So, yeah, we definitely got some good answers here for sure. Although there's still things to worry about, or think about. Like, just still don't know too much about Arias. That's still the biggest mystery, definitely. That's probably the only real mystery left. Like, what else? What else is really a mystery? I mean, aside from Sharsa's detailed motivation, I guess, but we're gonna get into that next time. Aside from Arias' thing and the mother and, you know, her status as a clone and why she's even a part of this trip when the mother seems to care about her and not be a clone of her and stuff like that. That's still the biggest mystery. Hopefully we get into that soon enough. But, yeah, definitely got some new insight into things here. And Kanata is fairly smart to have, you know, worked this all out. And good thing he worked it out before any of us died, because, yeah, Shar's is starting to get into killing mode in this episode, so, yeah, good thing we dealt with that. Because, yeah, at the very least, we shouldn't have to worry about random wormholes popping up anymore. Which is a relief, for sure. So yeah, I look forward to what Shars has to say next time, so thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki and Ryan for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.